Hi everybody, this is Rick from Edge of Space Sciences, and you're looking at a Canon PowerShot A570IS camera. Why is this camera interesting to Edge of Space Sciences? Because you can now automate many of the functions of this camera, thus making it much easier to set up and use it during a balloon flight. There's a bunch of independent developers who created a new firmware. It goes by the initials of CHDK, Charlie Hotel Delta Kilo. If you Google that term, you'll find their wiki webpage, and that leads to links to download the firmware, and it also has a bunch of explanatory pages and manuals and facts, etc., to teach you how to use this new capability. It adds a bunch of new features to the camera, but primarily at EOSS, we're interested in the scripting capabilities, the automation capabilities. So, what does that allow us to do? Well, the idea here is to make the camera as easy as possible to use for the person who's installing or attaching it to the payload string. They have to get this camera ready to operate. What do they need to do? They need to turn it on. Once the camera's been turned on, it goes through the script and sets itself for operation. The first thing the camera does is go into a reset. After the camera's reset, you know the position of every switch and button in the camera. So now you can easily know that when you set it to a toggle to on or off, you know for sure you're going to get the right result. Now the script is going through a bunch of menu settings to turn things off that are of no use in a balloon flight. This will save battery power and ensure a better operation of the camera for a balloon flight. Turns the image stabilization to shoot only. And now it's pretty much ready to go, except it's going to switch its lens aperture to maximum wide open. And after it does that, it's going to set its focus on infinity by getting into the manual focus mode, which is coming up right here. You'll notice a bar across the top is growing from left to right. That bar is indicating what focal length it's set on. Right now it's set on infinity. After the camera is ready to go, it figures that it doesn't need the display anymore. That was just there to ensure to the payload handler that everything was working properly. So the first thing it does after it turns the display off is take the first picture. And now, every 30 seconds throughout the rest of the flight, it's going to take one picture every 30 seconds. There's a limit that I've hard-coded into it of 400 pictures. Why bother taking more than that? And because that's a full balloon flight every 30 seconds, that's 200 minutes of flight time. We usually fly for 120 minutes. So, that's pretty much it. There, it just took another picture. So every 30 seconds it's going to take pictures for the rest of the flight until it reaches that limit of 400 pictures. Thanks for watching. This is Rick, Edge of Space Sciences, and we hope you enjoy some of the pictures this camera will hopefully take in the future. See you later.